because it's 8:30 and I want to get done early. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen. Nabina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. ربنا زدنا علما أجمعين وعلمنا الكتاب آمين. So next week, basically, because the time is going to be skipped, I'm going to send out an email and then we're going to try to stick to the same timings, um, which used to be 7:30 to uh, no, it used to be 6:30 to 7:30. So except that now it'll be between Asr and Maghrib probably. Yeah. But the thing is, the time for Maghrib always keeps going forward and forward and forward. So we'll see what's best, inshallah. Okay, so we were doing lesson number 20, right? Who wants to summarize it? There was will change in terms of if it's a feminine word. So all the numbers they'll lose their ta at the end. Okay. So in what scenario will they lose the ta? If it's in the word if the number if it's describing a word that is a feminine. Okay, if you're counting something that's feminine, right, then you don't have the ta at the end of the word, right? So what are all the numbers? Let's count them. What's one? واحد, two, اثنان, and then ثلاثة, أربعة, خمسة, ستة, سبعة, ثمانية, تسعة, عشرة. Right? So when we're saying them, we don't really say that. That's just how it is. Even if you're talking in Arabic to someone, they'll just say it like that. Um, but it's not a bad idea to do it. So, okay.
So in case of feminine, the Tamarbuta will be it is no Tamarbuta, and instead of Hatha, it should be Dhamma, isn't it?
No, the fatha and the dhamma, we don't affect that uh, because of this. So if I say, what number is this? Khamsatu, right? So what can I count with khamsatu? Give me something. Baqarah? No. How do you say books? Books. Kutub. Right? So if I'm counting books, I'm gonna say khamsatu kutu kutubin, right? Because this is a mudaf ilayhi. So why do I say khamsatu? There's a ta marbuta here because the thing that I'm counting is kitabun, right? Kitabun, so that's masculine. But what if I wanted to count? How do you say bicycle? Daraja, right? So if I'm counting daraja too, okay. So what if I want to say five? So this is one bike, right? How do I say bicycles? How do I make this plural? Alif and ta, right? So instead of darajatun, I'm gonna say darajatun, right? So we know how to make this, right? Sa'atun, the plural is sa'atun. Sayyaratun, the plural is sayyarat. So all you do is add an alif ta at the end, right? So we've done that. Okay. Now I want to say five bicycles. Khamsu, right? So I'm gonna take the same word except I don't have the ta at the end. So I'm just gonna say khamsu. Khamsu darajatin. And it's the same, so that stays the same. Okay? That was the whole lesson. Okay? What was the homework? What was the exercise that I gave?
When do we use fihi and when do we use fiha?
Fihi and fiha. When do you use them? Uh, Good question. So what is fihi? Grammatically, it's harf jar and ism majrur, right? Fihi. Okay, but he is a pronoun, right? So it's referring to something that you've already mentioned, right? Um, But is it masculine or feminine? Masculine, right? So it can only so you can only use fihi when the place that you're referring to or the thing that you're referring to is masculine. Like if fihi, I was talking about the masjid, right? Masjid is a masculine noun, so I would say al masjidu kabir. The masjid is big. Fihi, um, you know, muslimun. In it are Muslims, right? So you can use fihi in that one. When would you use fiha? When whatever this is referring to is feminine, right? So what would be some example? Ghurfatu, right? In the room, right? So if I'm talking about in the room, I would say fiha because I'm referring to ghurfatun, which is feminine. What else? Sayaratun, in the car, you could say sayaratun. Okay, so you just use that's what this is the pronoun, but you have to use it for the appropriate um, whatever you're referring to. All right, we're gonna review pronouns today, inshallah. But any questions on exercise 3? Everyone do it? Nope. Um, so basically, it was answering the questions, right? Using the number that's mentioned. So the first one was kam akhan laka. So you just have to say, I have 6 brothers, right? How do you say 6 brothers? Sittatu ikhwatin. Sittatu. And do you use ta marbuta on the sitta? Yes, right? Because you're talking about something that's masculine. Okay, kam. Now the second one is kam ukhtan laka. So how do you say 5 sisters? Khamsu akhawatin, right? And do you use ta marbuta on the khamsa there? No, right? So you use khamsu akhawatin. What's baqaratun? Cow. And what's huqul? What's fil huqul? In the field, right? It's a farm or a field. So
I'm sorry, why didn't we use the Uhtun is not feminine?
yeah, it's feminine. So you use khamsu akhawatin.
I thought you just said that you use the tablet.
You drop the ta marbuta when you're counting a feminine object.
Yeah, no, I just thought that you said just now that we were supposed to say that.
No, I said, does khamsu have the ta marbuta or is it dropped, right? So it is you drop the ta marbuta on the because it's khamsatun, but you drop the ta marbuta because you're counting something that's.
Yeah, no, I just thought you said
Oh, I said the opposite.
I thought maybe I'm misunderstood.
Okay. Okay. How do you say 10 cows? Ashru baqa baqarat. Baqarat. So the ashra is the only one that's different because when it's with the ta marbuta, you say ashara, right? With the fatha on the sheen. But when you take out the ta marbuta, what do you say? Ashru with the sukoon. So you say ashru. Okay. And then next one, how many doctors, female doctors?
Why do we say Ashura then? Ashura is 10, right?
That's Ashura, Ain Alif. Ashura, it's the 10th day. Yeah. But it's not like that. It's not written like that. Okay, kam talibatan jadidatan fil fasli. How do you say 9 students, female? Tis'u talibatin, right? 9 students, tis'u talibatin. Okay, so you can just do that. I want to finish 20. Yeah, well, hold on, let's see. We'll do one exercise and then we'll do the review and then the conversation, inshallah. Okay, let's do exercise number 4. So it says اقرأ الجمل الآتية واكتبها مع كتابة الأعداد الواردة فيه بالحروف. So it says read the following sentences and write them with with the words for the numbers that are given, basically. So you see the number, then you have to say the word. But what do you have to do? You have to see if there's going to be a ta marbuta there, right? So what's the rule? When do you drop the ta marbuta? When you're counting something that's feminine, okay? So let's have number one, Sir Tahira. Are you there?
We are trying to figure out hafilat in the plural of hafilat and how do you spell that?
Hafilatun.
Yes.
Just put a fa, just take out the ta marbuta and then put an alif on the fa. Do you want me to write it?
Yes, please.
It's actually written on the lesson before. If you go to the end of 19, so right before 20, do you see the third word, al-hafilatu? Yeah, no, no. Yeah, that one. The third word is al-hafilatu, and then you put a lam alif, right? Al-hafilatu. All right. So exercise number 4. We're still waiting on you. Do you see it? 112. So number 1, go ahead.
لي أربع إخوات.
Why are you saying arba'u? What are you counting?
إخوات brothers.
Brothers, right? So the brothers is masculine. Arba'atu.
I get confused with إخوات and
I know because of the so the ta marbuta will throw you off, but you're still counting masculine people, right? Arba'atu
أربعة إخوات
ikhwatin.
وثلاث
Mhm.
أخوات.
Perfect. Thalathu akhawatin. Right? So I have how many?
4 brothers and
And
3 sisters.
right. So you use li for family members. I have brothers, I have sisters, I have aunts, right?
I get confused with plural of brothers and sisters always.
Yes. Keep that in mind. Ikhwa. So Shri, next one. Dun. Mhm. Mhm. Good. ثماني ثمانو. Okay. ثمانو بنات, right? ثمانية. Or sorry, ثماني, right? There's a ya with a sukun at the end. So Muhammad has 5 sons and what's the number? 8 daughters, right? Brother Paul?
عندي 10 كتاب
It's not kitabin.
كتب
Kutubin.
كتب وسبعة
It's not sab'atu. When do you drop the ta marbuta? Actually, this is a new word, right? What's majalla? What's majallat? Magazine, right? So is it masculine or feminine, Brother Paul?
looks like masculine to me.
It's feminine because it's majallatun, right? When you have the alif ta at the end, that means it's a plural. So you're gonna say instead of sab'atu, you're gonna say
سبع
sab'u
سبع
مجلات.
مجلات.
Okay, so what's our عندي?
عندي
I have.
I have 10 books
Mhm.
and 7 magazines.
ما شاء الله. Brother علاء.
في المستشفى.
مستشفى.
What is في there?
I know. It's still مستشفى. So yeah, it's a fa with a short alif.
But it's not مجروح.
It is majroor, but the way it's spelled is and pronounced is there should be a short alif on the fa. مستشفى.
Okay. في المستشفى تسعة تسع طبيبات.
تسع طبيبات.
تسع طبيبات
Mhm.
وست محرودات.
ممرضات.
ممرضات.
That's two memes there. There's a meme on top of a meme, so it's ممرضات.
ممرضات.
So did you say sittu or sittatu?
ست.
With or without the ta marbuta? Without the ta marbuta, right? Because who are you counting?
feminine.
Feminine, right? Marrida is nurse, so it's feminine. I don't know if because this was written like when they didn't have male nurses, so maybe mumarrid now is male nurse. Because it's always mumarrida. I've never heard mumarrid. Okay, Brother Najmul, next one.
عندي أربعة قمصان.
Qumsanin. Okay, what does that mean?
I have 4 shirts.
And do you put the ta marbuta on the arba'a?
Yes.
Yes, right? Because you're counting qamis, which is masculine. Brother Anwar, next one. لهذه
السيارات
السيارة
أربع أبواب.
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 Do you say أربعة or أربع?
أربع.
Why?
Because السيارات is feminine.
Well, what are you counting? Are you saying 4 cars or 4 doors?
4 cars.
Mm-mm.
4 doors.
4 doors, right? So what's the singular for abwab? Babun, which is masculine, so you don't drop the ta marbuta. So you say arba'atu. Arba'atu abwabin. Brother Salim, next one.
في هذه الكلمة
Mm-hmm.
خمسة أحرف.
Hurufin. Did you say khamsatu or khamsu? Khamsatu, right? Because the singular for huruf is harf, right? Particle or letter. So the khamsatu hurufin. Okay. What does the sentence mean? What's في هذه الكلمة? في means in هذه الكلمة, this word, there are 5 letters. Okay. Brother Afnan?
في مدرستنا
Mm-hmm.
ثماني
Mm-hmm.
مدرسات.
Perfect. What does that mean?
In our school,
Mm-hmm.
there is 9 teachers.
Not 9.
No, 8.
8. Right? The 9 looks like a 9. And the 10 looks like a 10. Sarah Tahira, next one. Mm-hmm.
في بيتنا
Mm-hmm.
10 رجال
Mm-hmm.
وعشر نساء.
وعشر نساء, right? So on the second time you're counting women, so you drop the Ta marbuta. Last one, Sushmi. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, are you gonna say thalathatu or thalathu? Two, right? Thalathatu. Why? Because ayyam is the plural of. It's masculine, but what's the singular form of it? Yawm, right? So yawmun is masculine. So ayyamin, the plural you use, it's masculine, so you keep the ta marbuta. Thalathatu ayyamin. What does the sentence mean? Dhahaba abi. Mm-hmm. قبل ثلاثة أيام means before 3 days or just 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Okay. الكلمات الجديدة وأن the lesson. المجلة means magazine, right? So it's a ta marbuta. You make it plural by just adding alif ta. مجلات. الحرف means letter or particle, right? And the plural is حروف, pattern of فعول. Okay. Indonesia. الكلمة, word, right? كلمات. What I will do is I'm not going to introduce a new lesson. I will have you do the exercise number 2. So اقرأ واكتب, read and write that. Okay? It's on the previous page. No, for homework. But we're going to do a little bit of review and then we'll do a conversation exercise. Okay. Basically, we're gonna introduce just a few of the verbs that are very, very common, and that we're gonna be using for the conversation drill in a little bit. We already know a few verbs, right? What do you know so far? Zahaba, which is he went, or to go, basically. He went. What else do you know? What did you say? Well, let's start. Kharaja. What does that mean? He left. What's returned? Raja'a, right? He returned. What else? Jalasa. He sat. He sat. What did you say? Ra'aytu. What does ra'aytu mean? I saw. Okay. Uhibbu. I saw. What's uhibbu? Uhibbu means I love. What's fa'ala? What did you say? Fa'ala? What's fa'ala? He did. Okay. Okay. So what? Kataba. He. Okay. So I wanted to highlight this one. You see this a lot. Um, this is we're not gonna learn. We're gonna not know how to conjugate it except in the first person. I saw. So this is you're saying I saw. Ra'aytu. We're gonna learn every other way to conjugate it. We saw. They saw. He saw. Those two saw. But for now, just know ra'aytu means I saw. Okay. Um, Uhibbu is another common one, and another common one is uridu. What does uridu mean? I want. Um, so you see this, you're going to see this a lot, right? Uridu shay, whatever. I want something, right? So you say uridu and you say whatever the object it is that you want. Right? How do you say I want chai?
شاي
أريد الشاي. Right? I want
is
tea.
it منصوب
Yes. So what happens to the object that follows the verb? It's in the mansub form, right? So if you say, how do you say coffee?
قهوة
Al qahwa, right? So al qahwa. Instead of tu, you're gonna say ta. The object becomes mansub. It has a fatha on it.
would you say ta or قهوة ten
It's al.
oh
I want
sorry
coffee. So you can't put
that's
tanween
right
on the al.
sorry
Lesson
go
one.
back to page one
Back, yeah.
Can you just say أريد القهوة?
Yeah, but it doesn't really make sense. You just say أريد القهوة.
how do you say food
طعام. I want you go home. أريد الطعام.
no
First you say أحبه. Yeah, you have to say I love you, and then you say I want. Both of these are what? Present tense. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Uridu is not I wanted, it's I want. So it's present tense. Whereas ra'aytu is I saw, past tense. So these are all past tense. These two are present tense. We're gonna get into that. That's the meat of book 2. So just keep that in mind. But I just wanted to show them because they're very, very common. Okay. Okay. Okay, who wants to, the other thing we're going to review is all the pronouns. So, who wants to say all of them?
I have a question when we're covering numbers if you say you know like asharatun or asharu and you're counting more than one object some of them are feminine some of them are masculine which one do you use
Whatever so that's the examples in the book where they say, in the house there are 10 men and 10 women. So you say asharatu rijalin wa ashru nisa'in.
can you say fi ashara like in one sentence without saying what without saying 10 only one time like there's 10 dogs and cats
Yeah.
as opposed to saying
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
10 dogs and 10 cats
So, or 10 men and women.
exactly
Yeah. I don't know. You might be able to get away with it. Yeah. I guess it just depends on how specific you're being. What were you saying? He's saying, can you, like, the sentence we just read, whatever, in the house or in the room there are 10 men and 10 women. So he's saying, can you just say 10 men and women? Yeah. I'm not sure.
and if you can like what do you use
Yeah. Then what would you use, asharatu or ashra? I would think that you would use the whatever you're mentioning first.
that's my deep thought for the day
Yes, philosophical question. Okay, Brother Afnan, go ahead. All the pronouns.
هو هما هم هي هما هن أنت أنتما أنتن أنت
Anta, antuma,
أنتم
antum.
أنت أنتما أنتن أنا
MashaAllah. Someone else. Everyone. Yes. Brother Nazrul.
هو هما هم هي هما هن أنت أنتما أنتم أنت أنتما أنتن أنا نحن
Someone else. Okay. For the people who didn't say it, okay, Brother Anwar. Yes. Good. Anta, antuma, antum. Okay. Okay. For everyone else who didn't do it, you get to do the harder version. You get to do I'm not gonna write them. So how do you attach these to like nouns and other stuff? You have to use a form of them, right? So instead of hua, how do you attach hua to the end of something? Who, right? So if I want to say kursiyu, his chair, I'm gonna say kursiyu, who. So you can attach it to all 14 of them just like that. So attach all 14 of them to kursi.
كرسيه كرسيهم
How do you say two of their chairs?
كرسيهما
Kursiyuhuma, right? So you put a huma, okay?
كرسيهما
And their chair?
كرسيهم
Kursiyuhum.
كرسيه
Her chair?
كرسيه كرسيتها
You have to write them all down.
Sorry, no, I got it. كرسيها
كرسيها
كرسي هما
هما
كرسي هنا.
هن. Okay, how do you say your chair masculine?
كرسيه
كرسيو.
كرسيه
Your chair.
كرسيك
كرسيك.
كرسيكم.
Two of yours chairs.
كرسيكما
Okay.
كرسيكم
Yours. Okay.
كرسيكي كرسيكما
كما.
كما كرسيكنا.
Okay. How do you say my chair?
كرسي
كرسية.
كرسي
كرسية, I think is it. Or كرسية. Okay, and
كرسية.
what's our chair?
كرسينا
كرسينا.
كرسينا.
Okay, so you can attach that to nouns, right? Their chair, my chair, our chair, their two chairs, their three chairs, whatever. And then you can also, just like we did with fee, you can attach these to fee, right? So go ahead and attach them, Zahra. Oh, fihi, right? When there's a ya with a sukun or a kasra on the letter before it, what happens to the hu? To a kasra, right? Okay, so it's fi. Fihim. Fiha doesn't change. Mm-hmm. In you. Mm-hmm. Fi, right? In me. Fina. Okay. Attach it to ma'a, brother Paul. I think I gave it to you before. I told you should have done it before. With him. Okay, how about this? I'll pop quiz you. With him, one person, masculine.
With him?
Yes. With it's just ma'a, but you have to attach it to the
معه
ma'ahu. Okay, how about with me?
مع معي
Instead of ma'i, it's just ma'i.
معي
So it just drags it down.
معي
Yeah. How about with us?
معنا
Ma'ana. Okay, how about with you, which is one woman. With you.
معك
Ma'aki. Right? How about with them, like a group of people, masculine.
معكم
Ma'ahum. Good. Any questions? That was basically the review. Okay, so you're gonna get a thing, and then you just talk. So 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. And try to do it without your book first, but then you can look. If you want to look inside your book, you can. Ma'a? Ma'a is with. Ma'un.
مية is like
Muy.
ماء. ماء مية is like ماء.
Man.
Just keep doing this messed up. Shut up.
أريد ماء أريد ماء
How come it's not recognized?
Sorry.
Stop keeping yourself talk like this overseas.
You should be talking. This is out loud, not writing.
وعليكم السلام.
It's good. كيف حالك؟
كيف حالك